Alright, so for those of you watching on YouTube, this is part 2 of the pre-stream, as stupid as that sounds, because my mic malfunctioned. This happens time to time when I am live streaming or recording. It's a Windows driver error. Windows driver will crash, and because of that, the microphone will just stop working out of nowhere. But then when I restart OBS, and I start talking again, it usually works, and it's working right now. So apologies to those who are watching on YouTube, and now you have the second part of a pre-stream, and also apologies to those of you who are watching on stream. The stream should be coming back shortly, or should already be live for you guys already. So you should be able to see what's going on and hear me now. So I'm going to continue on with the pre-stream, okay? So what I was saying was, shout out to Lego Mario, who tipped me $1 and said the following: since the 2010s decade is ending, do you think that you could do the best and worst games of the decade montage? What I would say is this: it wouldn't be impossible, okay? It certainly wouldn't be impossible, but for me to do something like that, what I would have to do is take time to research. I would probably have to go back and watch my own best and worst of the year countdowns from the last decade, okay? We're talking all the way back to 2010 through now, and I'd have to say, out of all the games that I played in the last decade that I ranked like that, what were really the best and worst, and maybe do it like that. The only problem being with that, it would basically have to be spoken word. And what I mean by that, it would just be me on a camera talking, because there's no way, there's absolutely no way that I can go back and get 10 years of footage. You see what I mean? Like going back and going through all that for 10 years. There's no way I could actually do that viably without taking an insane amount of time away from streaming. And I don't want to do that, you know. The whole point of a fun countdown is to have some good content, not to take away from doing the content you guys love already. So I'm not going to do that in any kind of edited form. But if you guys were okay with me maybe doing kind of like a spoken word countdown, where all I did is I went through the best games of the decade or whatever, I mean, I consider doing that. But the thing is, I have to do the best and worst of the year first, because I think that's what people care about more, is the best and worst of the year versus the best and worst of the decade. And maybe once that's done, you know, then move on. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not completely eliminating the I'm not completely eliminating the possibility of doing it. I'm just saying it would be a lot of work. So let's do the best and worst of the year. Let's see how you guys like it. If you guys like it and you're like, okay, you know, yeah, by all means, you know, please also do a best and worst countdown for the decade, then maybe I will. Okay, but I'm not going to say I'm definitely doing it when in reality I don't even know if it's viable. Okay. Good stuff. Okay. Continuing on here. Pokemon Trainer tipped me $1. Says, even though you don't consider us one of your friends, I still think of you as a fan. Wait, what? Even though you don't consider us one of your friends, I still think of you as a fan. Does that... I don't know if that makes sense. I think he might just say friend. I think what he's referencing is the other day someone said, "Oh, you know, are you my friend or whatever?" Like, how can I possibly be your friend? You know, I'm one guy on the other side of the internet streaming, and you are many viewers. You know, just think about it. If you're watching the stream right now, you are one of many. You know, hundreds of people watching, thousands of people watching this back on YouTube later, right? There's no way that I could possibly say that you're like my personal friend. You know what I mean? Like, how could I do that? But I am very appreciative of the following that I have. I'm appreciative of the support that I get. Thank you to anyone who does, you know, support me and watch my stuff on a daily basis. And the thing is, it's like I said, a lot of people tell me all the time that basically there's a feeling of, what can I say? When people watch my content, they feel like they're relaxing, they're escaping their real life drama. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't just about me just playing games. It's about us having a cool, chill session where you guys can unwind and have a good time, and that has meaning in people's lives. That's a good and positive thing, and that's one of the major reasons why I love doing what I do, because I get told that every day. It makes it all worth it. All the harassment and all the crap that I go through constantly, it makes it all worth it to know that what I'm doing has personal merit for many of you viewers, okay? Does that constitute a friendship Well, for some of you, it might. Some of you might actually say, I feel like I'm friends with Phil because he hangs out with me every day on stream, right? So thanks for that. But, understand that, hey, can't necessarily go both ways because I can't possibly have that kind of level of interaction with all of you. But I do appreciate your viewership, and I hope that you guys, definitely get something positive out of all the stuff that I put out, okay? All right. Lego Mario tipped me another $1. Says, I'll remind you tonight, maybe you can look into it for booting Street Fighter. Absolutely. If you remind me tonight, I can maybe take a look at that Disney Afternoon collection and see what's going on with it. Okay? Very good stuff. Let's see here. Dead by Daylight fan tipped me $1. And he says, will you ever go back to Dead by Daylight and check out the new content? Will you ever go back and will you ever check out Dragon Ball Z Fighters again? Smash or Tekken, Star Wars Battlefront 2, or are the games dead because you don't play them? The games are not dead because I don't play them. The games are dead to me because I don't play them. These are games that I all played at launch. I got some enjoyment out of. And basically I said, I don't really see the reason to go back. I don't really feel like they have longevity for me or my content creation method. Dragon Ball Fighters was fun for about a month and a half until basically the game got to a point where people were playing at a very high level. And the connections that I was playing on were so bad, the game kept disconnecting and having issues. I just got frustrated and didn't want to play it anymore. Now, people told me, it got better and this and that. I don't care. I've been there, done that. I played the story. I did some of the multiplayer. I wasn't looking to play that game at a high competitive level, so why am I going to go back to it, right? Dead by Daylight, that's a game that I played when it launched at first on consoles. I went back to it again about a year later to check out some of the expansion content that had been released. I don't see the reason to go back to it. I've been there, done that. I've played it a couple times. I actually liked the game, by the way, but I don't see why I would go back to it at this point. What else in additional am I going to do with it, right? Smash is a game that, quite frankly, I don't even really like at a multiplayer level. I thought that it was fun to play through the campaign, and doing a little bit of messing around with the multiplayer was all right, but I don't even really like it as a competitive game at all. That's just me. Someone who grew up with traditional fighters. It's not my cup of tea, okay? Tekken is a game that I like a lot. I'm just not good enough at it, and nor do I want to dedicate enough personal time to learn the high-level intricacies of the game to get good at it. I feel that it's a game that if you like it and you want to do that, great. It's definitely one of the most competitive and viable fighting games out there, and I definitely enjoyed it for the little bit of time that I played it when it came out, but again, I don't want to dedicate the time to become good at it, so why am I going to keep playing it? Star Wars Battlefront 2, at launch, I just didn't like it at all. I thought that the game kind of flubbed a little bit. I thought that they basically messed it up because originally it was supposed to be a microtransaction model game. Then they changed it at launch because they got so much backlash about that that by the time the game launched, they removed that, but it still had random draws and all that was still a part of it. So they essentially, from what I've heard in the last 2 years, they've consistently updated Star Wars Battlefront 2 to be a better game. And in fact, I think it was, I want to say it was IGN, I could be wrong, who re-reviewed the game and actually said that Star Wars Battlefront 2, in essence, is one of the best multiplayer games out there right now. The problem is no one's really playing it because, the game wasn't very good when it launched 2 years ago. It's kind of one of those redemption stories like Rainbow Six Siege and stuff like that, where the game wasn't good at launch, but over time the developers kind of listened to feedback, got it, redesigned the game, and made it better. But my point is, why would I go back to it? I played it when it was new. Okay, let me put it this way. This is a consideration. If you guys think that Star Wars Battlefront 2 has improved so much that you would want to actually see me go back and try it again, I would consider doing it. I have the rights to it. I forget if I have it on Xbox One or PS4. It's been that long, I don't even remember. But if you guys actually want to see me give it a second go, like now, 2 years later, I would consider it. I actually like the Battlefront series. I was disappointed with how the game turned out. So if you guys think the game is so much positively improved that you want to see me go back and try it again, then I would try it. All right? But that's up to you to tell me that's something you want. All right? So please let me know. If you're interested in seeing Battlefront 2 again, let me know, and I'll consider playing it again. All right? Fair enough? All right, so there you go. I hope I answered all your questions, Dead by Daylight fan. Some guy tipped me $1. That's his actual name. He says, yo, you can unban me. A few months ago, I was permanently banned for saying that the stream was a little boring. You can't be that sensitive. You're right, because that's probably not why you were banned, because I would never ban someone for just saying the stream is boring. Now, if you spammed the stream chat saying the stream is boring repeatedly to the point where people were annoyed, or if you insulted me because you didn't actually say it that way, but you said it in an insulting way, then yeah, you probably got banned for it for violating the stream rules. So, truth of the matter is, who knows why you got banned? I don't know what your name is. Tipping me $1 isn't going to get you unbanned because I'm not going to derail the stream now to look you up. What you have to do is contact a moderator and ask for an appeal decision, to see if you'll be unbanned. Or you can email me at darksidephil@hotmail.com. And one thing you need to do is send me your Twitch name, which you failed to do even in this tip. Okay, then. Shout out to Austin Alexander, who tipped me $2 and actually with that tip became the top tipper of the day. So let's get Austin Alexander up on the leaderboard. A lot of tips today, but all very $1 tips, so everyone's just basically kind of floated around that. Until right now, of course. So Austin Alexander with a $2 tip, top tipper of the day, says the following. What do you think of Skyrim? Would you consider playing it till you finished it? I did. When it was a brand new game, not only did I play Skyrim as my longest playthrough ever, but I finished every major piece of content in the game, including every single faction, every single side mission that wasn't just one of those Radiant Quest repetitive missions. I think to this day, I think people say it's my second or third longest playthrough. The longest playthrough, I believe, is Persona 5. But outside of that, I think it's my second or third longest playthrough. So, we're talking, some pretty lengthy coverage of the game. Now, some people have asked me, would I ever go back to it? And the answer to that is, yeah, I actually would. At this point, the game came out in 2011. We're talking, that was a long effing time ago, right? I would definitely consider playing it again. However, what I would like to do is wait until it's pertinent. And what I mean by that is, let's say in a year or two, we get an announcement that Elder Scrolls 6 is finally going to be coming out, and here's some details about it. That would be a perfect opportunity to start getting hype about Elder Scrolls again and to replay Skyrim, okay? So, no, I would not play it anytime soon. I would wait for there to be a pertinent reason to play it, and then, yes, I would consider replaying it, but for now, the answer is no. Now is not the right time. Uzi Go Hard cheered, said, why can't we be friends? 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 Okay, then. Trump 2020 tipped me $1.50. Thank you to the Trump 2020 campaign for contributing to my streams. Always appreciative that you would step outside of your comfort zone and, support an independent streamer like myself. So thank you. Okay, then. Ultimate Reuter, resubscribed for 18 months. Is my favorite streams at the moment. Loving the Pokemon is good stuff, Phil. I appreciate that sentiment. And I certainly feel the same. Like I said, I have really enjoyed the Pokemon playthrough. I think that it's been one of my best ones as of late, because not only are we having a lot of interaction and fun, but you guys are helping me a lot with the game to understand mechanics that I don't get. You guys are helping me with the evolutions. We're taking our time to get as much as we can out of the game, and some of this is just really fun. Just genuinely fun. So thank you, Ultimate Reuter, for the resub and the support. Good Game Goblin tipped me $2.06, which makes Good Game Goblin the top tipper of the day. Let me get him up on the leaderboard, then I'll read his message. Good to see a Good Game Goblin, by the way. Okay. He says, 6 extra cents, because his tip is 6 extra cents to become the top tipper. He says, I just finished up finals, and a potential employer has reached out to me this week. Hopefully things are working out for you as well. I'm having a great week with streaming. So far, people have been very supportive this week, so far, so good. I'm glad to hear that things are going well with you, Good Game Goblin. That is awesome. Hopefully things work out for you, and you can get a nice job, and, pretty good stuff. Very nice. And by the way, hope you did well on your finals. Now you can relax, right? Now it's Christmas week, so you can relax a bit. Okay. Pinky Triple X. Cheery says, do you think your social skills have deteriorated at all since you became a full-time streamer and stopped interacting with people in real life as much as you used to? No. Listen, when I used to have lots of off-stream interactions with people. I wasn't a social butterfly either. Like, my hobby was video games and playing Street Fighter. How much interaction do you really think I had? Yeah, maybe I was in an in-person job. In real life, I would have personal interactions with people in a building, an office building all day. But it wasn't like I was the guy who was out there constantly mingling with the fucking people. Like, what a silly thing. No. And by the way, it's not like just because you don't constantly interact with people doesn't mean you have no social, like, what are you, nuts? I'm someone who literally is in front of hundreds, if not thousands of people all day long on a daily basis. How did I lose my social skill? Like, what are you talking about? You know? You want to, okay, someone who has no social skills or loses their social skills is someone who has zero interaction with a person all day long. They just sit around and only kind of mutter to themselves. They're on the internet doing their own devices. You know what I mean? Yes, I'm in my office a lot, working a ton, but I'm interacting with people constantly. How do you not understand the difference between that and not, you know what I mean? Like having zero social interaction. You may have been a little bit non-understanding of the way that this thing works. And I think that you should take a step back, take a deep breath, and understand that what you just said is very stupid. Okay. Battlefront 2 hype hit me $1, so please go back to Battlefront 2. The game is great, and I'm tired of you treating games like a one and done, where you give the Aladdin and Lion King game to one of your fans since you're done with it and never going back to it. No need to have it just collecting dust. The problem with that is shipping a game is incredibly costly. I can tell you that from fact because I used to do gaming giveaways, and sometimes when I shipped these games just across the country, it would be like $30. Sometimes shipping a game internationally would cost more than that, and I don't have money for that right now. All right, so sadly, no, I'm not giving away games. No, I don't know why you would even be asking me why I'm giving away games. Maybe eventually I'll trade some stuff in to make some money back so I can actually buy more games. But my God, talk about demanding. But good to hear that you're interested in me playing Battlefront 2 again. That makes one person. Well, I guess two people, technically. PW Dubs to me $2.07 to become the top tip of the day. He says, back in your tournament days, did you have any groupies? No. It wasn't like that. I told you, back then, no one who went to tournaments had internet presence at all. There were no sponsorships. There were no live streams. There was no YouTube. So it was just people going and playing games and having fun. It wasn't about the popularity. It wasn't about that kind of shit whatsoever. And in fact, that sounds kind of gross to me, quite frankly. It sounds pretty nasty. Street Fighter groupies. Ugh. So, no, I don't know. I have no idea how things are today. It's very possible that since a lot of the top players are probably internet personalities as well, they make big money with the sponsorships and shit, maybe groupies are possible. But no, back in the day, that did not exist. Okay? Okay. Internet famous McCroy also tipped $2.07. All right. Sadly, Internet famous McCroy tried to become the top tipper and failed. And the reason is because sadly, right before him, PW Dubs had done the $2.07 tip. So sorry about that. You're not the top tipper, Internet famous McCroy. However, he says, I'm the top tipper without going over. No, you're not. Sorry. Then he says the tip goal is better than the price is right. Or we're going to get a tip leaderboard to see who's kicking the most ass. No, we are not. Because it's not about that. It's not about, oh, this person's the top contributor for the goal this week and stuff like that. Plus, by the way, I have no idea who's tipping at all. All these things could be false because remember, anyone could use any name when they tip. It could be completely falsified. You could have one people saying that there's someone that they're not. So it's not about that at all. So we're not doing that. Austin Alexander also tipped me $2.07. Says, this is my swamp, good game goblin. So Austin Alexander also attempted to become the top tipper. This is funny. PW Dubs, Internet famous McCroy, and Austin Alexander all tipped $2.07 at basically almost the same time. But PW Dubs came in just narrowly before them and became the top tipper. So thank you all for the support. But sadly, you all thought you were going to be the top tipper, but only one could stand atop the pack. And that was actually PW Dubs. All right. However, a little bit short. Because guess what? Eternal Napalm tipped $5.55, and that became the top tip of the day. So Eternal Napalm is actually the top tipper. Let's get him up on the leaderboard here. There we go. Let's add that to the total tips for the day. So it'd be 63. Well, the total tips of the week, excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. And Eternal Napalm says the following. Hey man, happy holidays. As of right now, what game are you anticipating the most for 2020? I am really excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I never played a Final Fantasy game, but it looks awesome. Hats off to Square Enix. It looks top-notch. I don't really have a most anticipated game. I have a few games that I'm looking forward to. I talked about them last night. I said Doom, as well as Last of Us 2, and probably the Final Fantasy VII Remake are the three that I'm most anticipating. I'm sure there's many, many more games that that I'll be interested in as well, but a lot of them got delayed, like Watch Dogs and stuff like that. So we don't really know what exactly is coming out when yet. In just a little bit, probably I'd say in early January, I'm going to sit down and look at the gaming calendar and make a big cumulative list of all the games coming up in the next 3 months. When I sit down and actually look at the game release schedule, then I'll be able to give you a much more educated, opinion on what's coming up and what I'm more hyped for and stuff. But right now, I'm just talking off the top of my head, and I don't even really know what's coming out next year yet. So, thank you for the tip. Eternal Napalm, you're the current top tipper. Chunky Jack 301 did a 100-bit cheer and said, do you have a waifu? Yeah, her name is Kat. She's downstairs right now. Probably either, having breakfast or doing something around the house. And I love her very much. She's my real-life wife. I don't need a virtual waifu because I got a real one. And she's more than enough for me. So there. You thought I was going to say something stupid, didn't you? Okay. Austin Alexander 11 now did a $5.56 tip to become the top tipper and says, I shall not go down without a fight. So Austin Alexander is apparently determined to become and maintain the top Alexander 11. To maintain the top tip of the day. So thank you, Austin, for that. I appreciate that. What the hell did I type? What was that? Okay, hold on. I screwed this all up. 556. There we go. And then I can add the 5 here. Boy, I screwed that up bad, huh? Okay, so thank you, Austin Alexander. Current top tipper. He says, I shall not go down without a fight. He wants to hold on to that top tipper spot. Howling Wolf Joey just did a 53-bit cheers, and now that No More Heroes 3 is slated for 2020 release, do you have any plans to play No More Heroes 2 or replay No More Heroes 1 to follow the plot? I'm not replaying No More Heroes 1. I do have No More Heroes 2 for the Wii. I never played it. If people wanted to see me play it, I could. I actually own the physical game. I've had it for years and years, and I've always kind of presented it as an option for things like a game playthrough when people want to see me play it. No one ever seems to want it. So I never played it, but if you guys wanted to see me play that before the next one, I'm okay with that, I guess. It's up to you guys, all right? It's up to you. Let's see what happens in 2020 with all these new playthroughs, all right? Well, I got some bad news for Austin Alexander. M5 NSX tipped $6, and he says, got Resident Evil Revelations 2 for $10 the other day, a fun game. I agree. I think both Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 are good games. Now, Resident Evil Revelations 1 was a game that was made for the Nintendo 3DS. So it's very limited in what they could do with the graphics and the controls. I actually thought the gameplay of the game was quite good. And it actually had a really good story, too. I think we're at 674 now. Is that correct? I might have lost count now, guys. I think we're at 674. But if I'm wrong, please let me know because I don't remember what the hell it said before. I think we're at 674 though with that $6 tip. So I would say I really like the Resident Evil Revelation series. A lot of people hated on it and said, "Oh, it's too run and gunny and blah blah blah." And then eventually they did Resident Evil 7 and everyone kind of shut up because it went back to survival horror. I liked Resident Evil Revelation, so I hope you enjoy the game. For $10, that's a steal. Because remember, Resident Evil Revelations 2 was a episodic game where it came out, I think it was 5 episodes or something like that, and each one's about 2 to 3 hours long, if not a little longer. I think some of the episodes are a little bit on the longer side while some are a little bit on the shorter side, but I really liked the game, so I hope you enjoy it as well. That was back during remember that year when everything was episodic? Like everyone didn't want to take a chance on putting out a full-fledged game. So you had like Resident Evil Revelations 2 was episodic, then the next Hitman game was episodic, remember? And then basically that formula failed miserably, and they said, fuck, we should just start releasing full games again. And then it kind of went away. Like, almost no games do episodic releases anymore, so. Okay. The Green Giant tipped me $1. It says, hey, Phil, since you're not playing Modern Warfare, I'm thinking you could return to Overwatch as a replacement for now, since it's been forever since you played it. Could you put that as a late night stream? But I don't know. I just thought I'd add something. Whew. It's a big mouthful. I'm not playing Overwatch. There's no reason. If I play it, I would just get utterly destroyed constantly because I haven't played it in so long. I'm not even going to know who half the characters are, nor what their abilities are. I'm not going to learn fast enough the changes to the characters who I used to play. It would be a waste of time, all right? Overwatch 2, that's a whole nother ball game. I'm sure that game will have brand new stuff everyone will have to learn from day one. I will play Overwatch 2 if and when it gets released, but I'm not doing Overwatch 1 again. But thank you for the $1 tip. Pinky XXX cheered and said, would you ever do a challenge run playthrough like the guy who beat Dark Souls 2 with a Guitar Hero drum kit? Yes. I am going to listen up, guys. I am going to play Sekiro, or Sekiro, however you want to say it, with the Donkey Konga drum set. There you go. It's the way to go. No, I'm not. That's really stupid. Okay? If you ever wanted to see me go back and do a challenge run on a game that I've played or beaten before, I'm open to the concept. No one's really ever asked me for that ever. I'm not that kind of a content creator. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a guy who's like, oh, I'm the From Software guy, and all I play are Dark Souls style games. And now, because that's all I do and that's all I'm known for, now I have to go back and do 47 different runs of this game. You know, this version, I only use my right hand. And in this version, I play with a cactus shoved up my ass constantly for a distraction. And in this version, I turn the heat on in my house to 125 degrees, so I'm sweating profusely when trying to concentrate. I don't do that kind of stuff. Some people find that entertaining. Personally, I don't think that it's something that you guys would really enjoy. I think that you'd rather enjoy me play fun games and have chill streams rather than worrying about these crazy levels of challenge. No one has ever come to me and said, Phil, we want to see an insane, crazy level of challenge run. So I don't think I'm going to be doing that anytime soon. Okay? Okay. So now let's do a shout out to the top cheerers of the week. Thank you very much to everyone who's cheered this week so far. In 10th place, we got Internet Famous McCroy. 9th place is Save the Pig the Game. We have a tie for 7th place between Popsicolo and Delancius, so thank you guys for that. Murdoch is currently in 6th. Snake Eater 1247 is in 5th place. Mr. Papavera is currently in 4th. Tom is in 3rd place. Two Bar King in 2nd place. And Tantamounter currently sitting at 1st place. Thank you guys again very much for all of your support this week. Also, when it comes to gifted subscriptions, we have Philly Buckeye, who gifted 2 subscriptions, and Internet Famous McCroy, who gifted 2 subscriptions. So thank you guys for your support in that regard. Okay, very nice. Thank you very much. Good Game Goblin tipped me another $1 and says the following. You ever have an irrational fear of something stupid as a child? For example, I was scared of vampires when I was 5. When you're a kid, you're scared of a lot of stuff. You're scared of the dark. You're scared of this and that. Until finally you start to grow up, you realize there's nothing scary in the dark. There's no monsters. There's none of that, right? One thing that I, to this day, am irrationally scared of is heights. And I don't know why I'm scared of heights, because I know that wherever I am, I'm safe. Like, for example, if I go to a mall, and the mall has a high-up walkway, where you can look down at the shops below you or whatever, I'm okay to just walk around the mall. But if I actually get too close to the edge and I start looking down, all of a sudden I start getting what's called vertigo, which is where you start to actually lose your equilibrium and you start to feel like dizzy, like you're going to fall or pass out. I don't know why. Like, again, there's no rational. I never fell as a child. I never plummeted. You know what I mean? Like, I've never had a reason for this, but for some weird reason I have this. And for example, another example, I've been to the top of many towers, many large towers, like at Willis Tower in Chicago, here the Space Needle in Seattle, Empire State Building in New York City. And sometimes I'll be up there, I'll be perfectly fine. I'll just look out, wow, this is a beautiful view or whatever. And then sometimes I'll start like going out there, and all of a sudden my body will start to sweat, and I'll start to like lock up and get nervous, and my back will get really tense. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know? Again, it's not something that actively in my mind I even understand. It just happens. It's an irrational thing that's involuntary and just happens. I don't know why my body reacts like that, but it does. So that's the one thing that is really weird to me that still to this day happens. I can't justify it. I don't know what's up with that, but it happens to me. So, that, however, yeah, Internet Famous McCroy says you don't want to be on an airplane with Phil. Actually, quite the opposite. Airplanes don't bother me at all. I actually like airplane flights. I think that they, you know, when you go up and get to see the view and everything, I actually find them fun. I don't know why certain things like my body reacts that way, and other ways it doesn't. There's, again, logically in my head, I don't connect the dots. It just kind of happens. Okay? Okay, Rock the Ice resale for 11 months said, let's get it. All right, let's get it, Rock the Ice. Sounds good. Happy holidays as well. Thank you for the support. All right, so I think, ladies and gentlemen, I think that this is a good place to say, let's end the pre-stream. And let's take a very short break. I'll go run and use the restroom quickly. And then we're going to come back. And remember, whenever I play Pokemon, two things happen. First of all, you guys are going to get to use your channel points, also known as Penne points, to select 3 Pokemon that will stay in my party for the entirety of today's stream. That's the first thing. Also, the top contributor of today's stream is going to get to name a Pokemon. All right? Now, if you guys don't remember, the last stream, it was actually CM Fool who was the top contributor, and he selected that we're going to name a Pokemon who has the ability Rollout. We're going to give it the name Optimus Prime. Okay? So what I need to do first thing today when we boot up the game is I need to go to the job system, do the job, bring in the Pokemon from the jobs, find a Pokemon that has the Rollout ability, which is a rock ability, I believe, name it Optimus Prime. Then we've got to swap in the Pokemon that have to be in because people could, use the Penne points. And then the top contributor of today's Pokemon stream will also be naming a Pokemon in the game. So, some pretty cool stuff coming up here. All right, guys. All right, so thank you. I'll be right back after a very brief break here to use the restroom with Pokemon. See you in a bit.